My name is Tina Nunez here in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and here is my Google Certified Coaching Portfolio. I'm going to be talking about how I went through the 5-step coaching process with the Albuquerque Public Schools Mentor Teacher Program that consists of just 2 department leads and needing some educational technology coaching to help them better configure the resources for the mentor teachers. The Mentor Teacher Program reached out to me about digital collections of teacher files to track all of the mentor teacher and beginning teacher documents. I used Google Jamboard for creating a Gripe Jam protocol. So all together, we went over the biggest frustrations and we came up with 3 core issues. Those 3 core areas were structuring everything so teachers themselves weren't going to be confused or overwhelmed in this process, track all those submissions, and then collect data in a way that was easy to make sense and quick to see. So now we move on to investigating in this process, and I looked at the Dynamic Learning Project Strategy menu, and I thought it really focuses on assessments, turning in items. So looking at that, we decided to focus on Google Forms and Google Classroom. In the end, we decided to revamp and reconfigure the entire LMS setup and how items were turned in. Reorganize the content in Google Classroom. All the assignments were going to be created with Google Forms, and the Forms data would be configured and tracked all using Google Sheets. The department heads were going to be trained on all 3 of these different content areas in a very specific manner to meet their needs. So we started meeting together once a week over all the nuances of those tools, and we created a big Google Classroom framework, and we ended up using Google Forms and Google Sheets within that to track everything. In the end, we took the previous configuration of Google Classrooms, which was just a giant list of assignments and having each assignment sent to a small group of individuals or almost every single individual teacher. And I showed the department heads how they could create monthly topics and having specific naming conventions, using color, visuals, and due dates to be able to have this very streamlined and easy for other teachers to use. And because we decided to use Google Forms, all of the Google Forms responses were now kept in one Google Sheet, use conditional formatting as well as a count if formula to track how many of those items were turned in by each of the mentor teachers. In the end, the 2 heads had a very low use of the digital tools. They built up their confidence from a 2 and a 3 to a 4 and a 5. Now they feel very comfortable to share their understanding of Google Forms, Sheets, and Classroom with other teachers who are now in the program to help them configure and build their own Google Classrooms. So I believe this entire experience has led to a very big bright spot. I was able to work with just 2 head teachers who work with a total of about 500 members of our district, and it was a great learning and coaching experience for me.